Former U.S. President George H.W. Bush dies at age 94. Tyler Durden, Zero Hedge reports. This is just a few months after the death of Barbara Bush, his wife. George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st President of the United States and the head of one of the most prominent political families in American history, arguably best known for assembling the multinational coalition that liberated Kuwait and launched a permanent U.S. presence in the Middle East, died Friday at age 94. Bush governed the nation from 1989 to 1993, making him the last president of the Cold War era. The former president died at 10:10 p.m. local time on Friday. Funeral arrangements will be announced sometime later, the spokesperson for the Bush family, Jim McGrath, said in a statement. In a statement released through his son, former President George W. Bush, the family described their patriarch, quote, as a man of the highest character and the best dad a son or daughter could ask for, end quote. His health deteriorated in recent years as he suffered from low body Parkinson's disease and was confined to a wheelchair. In April, Bush was discharged from the hospital after receiving treatment for low blood pressure. No cause of death was given. Instead, the statement simply announced that the entire Bush family is deeply grateful for 41's life and love, for the compassion of those who have cared and prayed for Dad, and for the condolences of our friends and fellow citizens, end quote. Bush's wife Barbara died in April. By then, the Bushes had been married for 73 years. Back then, her husband released a statement calling her the most beloved woman in the world. On Saturday morning, President Trump, who had a rocky relationship with the Bush family, praised Bush for his, quote, essential authenticity and disarming wit, end quote. His, quote, unflappable leadership brought the U.S. and the world to a peaceful and victorious conclusion of the Cold War, end quote, Trump said. In a follow-up tweet on Saturday morning, President Trump tweeted that President George H.W. Bush led a long, successful, and beautiful life. Whenever I was with him, I saw his absolute joy for life and true pride in his family. His accomplishments were great from beginning to end. He was a truly wonderful man and will be missed by all. Bush served for 8 years as Vice President to Ronald Reagan before winning the White House himself, beating Democratic opponent Michael Dukakis by a convincing margin in 1988. He thus became the first incumbent vice president since Martin Van Buren in 1836 to be elected to the nation's highest office. According to The Hill, Bush showed considerable deftness and prudence in foreign affairs, leading a broad international alliance to victory in the first Gulf War and helping to ensure order rather than chaos following the collapse of the Soviet Union. Going back to the end of the article, the former president tried to stay active despite his numerous health problems. He celebrated his 80th, 85th, and 90th anniversaries by skydiving. Last year, Bush also had his own #MeToo moment. An actress accused him of telling, quote, a dirty joke, unquote, and groping her during a meeting. Bush admitted that some of his actions may have been viewed as inappropriate, and he apologized. George H.W. Bush is survived by 5 of his children, George W., Jeb, Dorothy, Neil, and Marvin. A 6th child, Robin, died of leukemia in 1953 at the age of 3. Kindly support my Patreon account, since that's the only way I can continue what you like seeing on this channel. Thank you. You'll find it in the description box below.